Hi everyone. Hi again. Welcome again for this new session. Learn tips and tricks on how to get the most out of Airplane. Thanks again for joining us. So as usual, I just remember you that there will be two others workshops today. So how to grow your B2B sales using Airplane will be the next one, but also how to become an Airplane expert in sales management and restocking strategies. So again, feel free to sign up for these workshops. I'm sending you right away the agenda of all sessions using the chat section. Of course, as always, there will be a Q&A time at the end of this presentation, so you can keep your questions for the end of the demo, and well, we'll write you, we'll answer all questions in the chat at the end. Well, not in the chat. Well, I'll answer all your questions, but using the chat. The chat is only for you. Okay. So let's go. I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to start. So there will be three parts in this presentation. The first part of this session will be dedicated to customization. What are the main levers for action when we talk about customization? The second part will be dedicated to unrelated but still useful tips and tricks to ease your experience. And the third part will focus on the new Stripe integration, so the payment app. And we'll also use this third and last part to make the transition to the next workshop. So the first thing I would like to talk about is the dashboard. Here's where you can find key indicators of your business. Of course, you can customize this dashboard. So you have access right here to a list of widgets. So you can choose from this list the widget that you want to display on the dashboard and the ones you want simply to, well, not to display on the dashboard. So very simple. So I'm going to show you just how I have decided to organize my dashboard. This is probably not the best way to do it, but at least it just give you just a few examples, and then it will be your turn to explore this feature. So here I have my list of new customers. So it is very straightforward. It's a very straightforward widget. So I don't spend much time with the details, the amounts of the order, etc. But at least it gives me an idea of where we're going in terms of new customer acquisition. Then we have two sales order reports, not sales orders, so it's orders widgets for the sales performance. So we have the amounts invoiced this week and the amounts invoiced this month. Just so you know, these amounts are always tax inclusive. Then we have two widgets for the pending estimates and the overdue invoices. So these are the kind of transactions that I need to follow up on a weekly basis. So being able to see this information right here really helps me not to forget what I have to do. Then we have right here two widgets for fulfillment tracking. So we have the order to ship, which shows all unfulfilled orders. And we have also recently added this widget called order available for shipping. So this one also includes the product availability. So this could allow you or your team to prioritize these orders rather than orders with potential out of stock products that would require restocking or back ordering. Okay. Last but not least, you can rearrange the dashboard. So you can resize the widget and you can also move around the widget and just choose a different spot for your widgets. And that's it for the dashboard. Let's move on to the next point, custom views in your lists. So if you've attended our first workshop today on analysis tools, you're now pretty familiar with how to create custom reports, while creating custom views in your list is pretty similar. So lists refer to all your list of documents, so for example, sales order, estimates, invoices, etc. But it also concerns your product lists So right here, and your contact list, so all your suppliers list, your customer list also. So these are all lists in Airplane. So creating views is a simple way to tailor your lists to your business needs. So the idea is to create different views based on indicators, columns, and filters that are important for your business. So let's open my list of sales order to see how this works. So in your list, just like in your report, we have a filter bar right here. So we can activate the filter with a single click on the bar, and then we can access the list of available filters. So as you can see, the list is quite exhaustive. Okay, so let's say we want to see the orders created this month. So I could use a first filter on the creation date and choose range this month and apply. So just like that, I can use multiple filters. So if I want to go back to the list of filters, I can use this button right here and keep on adding more filters to my list. Um, Worth noting that Airplane allows you to use Boolean operators. So in clear, for example, if I want to have the orders containing products from the range hiking or sleeping, I could use product tags right here contain hiking or sleeping. So by the way, these are my product ranges that I've created as tags. I can apply and there is the result. But I could also ask Airplane to show me all sales order containing products from the range hiking, but also products from the range sleeping. So both ranges at the same time. So I could use is, hiking, and sleeping and apply. And there is the results. So once we have applied filters, we can, of course, rearrange the columns in column order, just like in your reports. So we can go to the column button right here, and we can check the columns that we want to display in the list and remove the ones that we don't want to see in the list. We can also change the appearance order. So for example, here, if I want the creation date in first position as the first column, I can use this little side button right here. I click, and while I'm holding the click, I can drop this column right here just before sales order and rearrange the order. So let's say we are satisfied with this view. We can now save it to avoid redoing the setup every time we need this list. So to do this, we can use the view button right here. So views here or here, and we can click save view. We can give it a name. I could also say to Airplane, hey, this is my default view, so it will be displayed automatically each time I go back to the sales to my sales order list and create new view. Using this views button, I can also access all the views I've created previously. I can update these views. I can also use the bin button to delete views. Here are just also a few examples of views I have created. For example, here I have all my B2B sales, so all sales order created from the B2B store. I have also a B2C view, so included all sales created from Shopify. I can also use this one, so cancel orders, so just another view based on the status of the sales order. So okay, so now it's your turn to explore the list of available columns, the list of filters, and create your own views. So now let's talk about tags. So tags that we've mentioned them earlier when we were speaking about the ranges. The tags are very essential because it's really nice to have tags if we aim at customizing an account. So these tags will allow you to categorize your contacts and your products. So you will find two tabs here. So one is under contacts, so contact settings right there. So this is where you can create tags for your suppliers and your customers. And we have another tab right here under products, product settings. So this is where you can manage your tags. This is where I have created so the different product ranges. You can also manage your seasons, your brands, and your attributes if you need to create your products with variants. So once more, we highly recommend you to create tags, so product tags, supplier tags, any tags, as this will really help you to go a little further with the use of your custom reports and your custom views. So finally, and just so you know, you can create tags and associate them to your products while importing new products, or also while updating your existing products. So using a CSV or an Excel file, for example. So this will not only create the tags but also link the tags with your products. But we'll talk more about this later. The next 2 points will concern emails. So these are features that we've added pretty recently to the system. So the first one is right here. So under settings, email templates. So the idea here is to create email models that you can use anytime you need it. So anytime you need basically to send a document from Erplain. So here is an example of a template for my estimates. So the added value here resides in the body variables. So if I click on the body right here, I can see the body variables that are available. So the list is also quite exhaustive. We can add these variables directly in the body of the text, but also in the subject line. So here, for example, you can see the different variables that I've added to my text. So the estimate number, the total, the account representative name, my first name, last name, and phone number. Okay. So let's see now if I try to send an estimate. By the way, this is my default template. So this will be, well, the default template that popped up automatically when I sent a new estimate. So let's go to estimate, pick one estimate, and click on action, send by email. So this is my template. As you can see, there's nothing else to do right here except just clicking on send email. The context information popped up correctly, and well, I'm good to send my email. So really explore this feature. There's a lot to do with this feature. You can create templates for different scenarios for all your documents, and you'll definitely save some time with this feature. One more important feature for customization and also related to emails, we've added recently a server mail transfer protocol feature to Erplain, which means that you can now send emails from Erplain using your own email server. So the SMTP is to be set individually, so for each user. So if you are a Erplain user, just go to this button right here. So the profile, your profile, you click on edit my profile, and this is where you can start the setup of the SMTP. So you can enable this feature. You can add your email address, password, and server address. So setting up the SMTP is pretty simple, but it can require some additional settings or setting changes on your server depending on your provider. So for example, if you use Gmail, I highly recommend you to check the tutorial SMTP configuration with Gmail on our help center. Okay, let's move on to the next point, PDF settings. So PDF settings is where you can customize your PDFs. So right here. So basically, just to show you how this works, here we have options for your PDF that will work regardless of the document type. So for all documents, and then in the lower part we have option that will work just for certain kind of documents. So you first have to choose document type right here, and then you can choose from the list of options. Of course, you can customize your document name. So, for example, if you work in the UK, you certainly prefer the term quotation instead of estimate, so you can customize the document name. Same thing for total labels. If you prefer the term price cut instead of discount, you can also customize the labels. Worth noting also this section, so payment information. So these payment information are simply information that you can display on your invoices. So here, for example, I have created a payment information for my international banking account number. I could also say, hey, this is my default payment information, so it will be selected automatically when I'm creating a new invoice. So I left on the side a few fields, so additional company information, terms and condition, page footer. Well, these are also important fields that we recommend you to use to customize your account. Before moving on to the next part, I wanted to show you these two options. So they were also added to the system recently. So the option to display a tax summary on your sales documents, so here on my estimates, and the option to display barcodes on the PDFs. So if, for example, we go to the estimate list and we open any estimate, we can view the PDF. And so this is how it looks. This is my barcode right here, so the barcode of my products, and this is the tax summary. So just a quick recap on the taxes or tax used in the transaction. Okay, well, let's go for part two. Let's move on to part two, tips and tricks. So as we were talking about the barcodes, this is actually the perfect transition because apart from PDF, using barcodes is a great way to save time when creating new documents. So for example, if we want to create, well, any documents like a new sales order, we can use a scanner, a barcode scanner to select our products. So to show you how this works, let's open a new estimate. So I have my scanner here with me, and I have simply connected this barcode scanner to my laptop. So you can use any kind of barcode scanner as long as the barcode scanner is compatible with your operating system. That's it. So the process is pretty straightforward. We can click here on the scan barcodes button, and then we can start scanning away our products to head them to our documents. Okay. Very simple. And if I'm scanning, if I keep on scanning the same product, it will just add more quantities to the list. Okay. And when we're done, we just close this, and we can just well keep the process keep on going in the process. Okay. So very simple way to save some time. Um, so now let's talk tips and tricks for navigation. So these are just, well, a bunch of unrelated tips, but I'm sure they can be very useful if you use Erplain on a daily basis. So the first tip is opening new tabs. So when you are navigating in Erplain, let's say you're on your product list and you have just an active filters, for example, on the product tags. I'm going to add a product filter right here, and you want to open the product card, but you don't want to lose the filter that is active right here. Okay, so you can use the key and mouse shortcut command and click to open this product card, for example, in a new tab. Just so you know, this also works with Windows. I'm using a Mac, but you can just replace command by the control key, and this also works. So very simple tip, but it brings so much comfort in the experience. I can just recommend it to you. Second tip, the quick access menu. So the quick access menu is the quickest way to open any creation form. So if we go there, we can click on any kind of data like products, and here is the product creation form. So you will save also some clicks and some time. Third tip, duplicates. So you can duplicate about anything in Erplain, like a product. If you want to create a product that is really inspired by just another product, you can duplicate any product using this button right here. Just use a different name and different SKU to avoid confusion. You can also duplicate transactions. So for example, if you're creating the same purchase order or on a weekly basis, you can just duplicate this purchase order. So you go to your list of purchase order, you open the purchase order and you click on action, duplicate, and you will create the same document. The fourth tip is concern updates. So the fourth tip is just another list of tips itself, but regarding file updates. So I will give you now a list of do's for updating data that you can apply for updating your products, your suppliers, but also your customers using a CSV or an Excel file. So let's say we need to update some products in the list. So let's go to the product list. And my first tip for you is this one. When you want to update just certain products, before starting to export the file, use the filters. So filtering the list really is really helpful. And if you do it in Airplane, you won't have to do it in the file once it is exported. So let's say I want to filter again on the icon range. I apply. And from there, I can export my file right here. So you can choose between these two format. I don't use Microsoft Excel on my computer, but well, I can open the file from Google Sheets, so I'll use the CSV format. You can then download your file from this button right here. Okay, let's open the file and see how this looks. So the second tip that I have for you is to create your brands, tax, season, taxes, options, attribute using a file. Also, if you have already created them, you can also update or create new ones, new items with this technique. So you don't have to do it manually in Airplane. So let's say I want to assign a brand to this product. I could just add the brand right here, and this brand will be created when I'm using this file to update. And this also works for your tags, seasons, and the different items that I've just quoted. So options, attributes, tags, seasons, and brands. Another tip for updates is to clear the formatting. So generally speaking, when we update like documents, when you update any data using a file, usually we'll copy paste information from one file to another, and this could add formatting to the file, and we want to avoid adding more formatting or just new formatting to this file. So when I'm done editing a file, and this really works for any kind of update, you can select the all sheet and then click on format and clear formatting. So this will avoid any kind of additional formatting you've inserted in the document. Also, another tip: do not change the file format. So if you've exported the file in CSV, do not save it once it is edited in the Excel format, for example. Also, do not change the order of the columns. Do not change your columns name. Do not add any other columns to the file. This just won't work. Okay. And finally, make sure to use the right button when updating your data. So let's say this is done. I'm going to save this document right here. So we will save it as the same with the same format. We can go back to Airplane. We go to settings, import data. We select the data type, so product, all good. We can drop our file here and click on update product. Do not click on import products. This will just not work. Okay. Well, that's it for the tips regarding navigation and regarding updates. Let's move on to the final part of this presentation, Stripe, and let's do the transition for the next workshop. So Stripe basically is a payment app that you will find in our app catalog right here. So the only requirement for using Stripe is creating a new Stripe account. Unfortunately, this is a Stripe requirement. But once Stripe is connected to Airplane, which could be done very simply in, well, about 5 minutes, you'll be able to receive payments for all invoices created from Airplane. So to show you how this can work, I'm going to open an unpaid invoice. Okay. And there's a section right here called share. And you can, from this section, you can enable you can get a link to share this invoice to your customer, for example. So if we click here, this will generate a new link that you can share to your customer. So if you just give me a minute, I'm going to unshare my screen and then reshare it because I have to open this in a new window. So just so you can see how this looks. Okay, I'm ready. Almost. So this is how the pages looks when you open that link, when your customer will open that link. Your customer will be able to view the PDF, download the PDF of the invoice, but also pay the invoice through Stripe. So this is very useful, works for any invoices, but also this is something you can use. You can combine these awesome feature with the use of our B2B store. So talking about the B2B store, this is the next workshop. So I really invite you to sign up to this next workshop. But just to tease you a little bit with this feature, the B2B store is just an optional e-commerce platform for your B2B sales. So the added value of this feature is the possibility for your customers to create their own orders autonomously, which means that you will no longer need to take orders using a phone or an email. So a very good addition to your sales armada, if you ask me. And of course, you can use Stripe with it, and you can allow your customer to pay online directly. So if you want to learn more about the B2B store, go ahead and sign up to the next workshop that will start in about half an hour. Okay, time for all your questions. Go ahead and send us all your questions. In case we don't have the time, just in case we don't have the time to answer all questions, you can also contact our support team using a ticket. So you can open a ticket from the Help Center and you will reach out to our support team, and they will also be able to provide quick answers to your question, just in case we don't have the time for your all questions. Okay, I'm checking the list of questions. Can we remove old user email address from the email template drop downs. Yes, of course, we can. Well, since if a user is inactivated, this address will no longer appear anywhere in Airplane, so it won't also appear in the in your templates. Is there a way to download a pro forma invoice? So there's no specific feature for creating pro forma invoices in Airplane. However, you can use invoice draft. So this is an option that you can activate from your company settings. And once it is done, it will be you'll be able to use invoice drafts. And usually, we recommend to use these drafts for pro forma needs. I'm going to unshare my screen and go back to Airplane. So if you have any more questions regarding some features, it will be better. Okay, back to Airplane. Will we be able to watch these videos again? Yes, of course. We'll create a page special for well, just if you need to rewatch these videos, of course, we'll create a page specially for this. So some questions about Stripe fees. So Stripe fees, there are fees for Stripes. So the Stripe fees will depend on your location, the payment method, the amount. So I'm not able to say, hey, this is the percentage that of fees that Stripe will take. However, Airplane will charge 1% of the amount of the total amount paid. Someone also asked to confirm the keyboard and mouse shortcut to open new tabs within the browser. It's actually it's Control and click if you're using Windows, and if you're using a Mac, you can use Command and click. Can we set up the sync between QuickBooks and Airplane so it will only send invoice and not all other info? So I assume you mean like the products and customers, etc. Well, um, you can choose to send manually your documents to QuickBooks. So, for example, if you don't want to send some documents like your purchase orders or your delivery, you'll be to manually send your documents. So this is an option that you will be able to find here. Well, this account is not connected to QuickBooks, but go to apps, configure QuickBooks, and then there's a tab for setting automatic transfer or manual transfer of your documents to QuickBooks. But if you mean like other info in the sense of like customers, products, etc. Well, all information contained in the invoice are necessary for the creation of this invoice in QuickBooks. So these information will also transfer to QuickBooks automatically. Can account reps transfer to QuickBooks divisions? I don't think this is something that is available at this point. However, I will definitely take note of this feedback and check if there's maybe an already existing request for this need. Okay, well, seems like this presentation is coming to an end. Just well, some more questions are arriving. Will you ever consider Square Up as an additional app? Well, we'll take note of all feedbacks. But for I suggest this is a request for an additional integration, but I'll take note of this feedback as well. Okay, well, if we don't have any others questions, I think we're gonna end this meeting. There's another question regarding account reps if you're transferring to the QuickBooks division. As I was saying, that I don't think this is the case. However, I'll check if there's an existing request for this need. Okay, well, time to thank you all. Thanks again for attending this meeting. Thank you for your dynamism to all these different questions. Thanks again. And as I was saying, if maybe I forgot some to answer some questions, go ahead and open a new ticket. It will be a pleasure for us to answer your questions directly from with the support team. Thank you. Bye bye, everyone.